Severe storms threatening the evening commute at this hour. Flash flood watches from Ohio all the way over to New York. These cars in Buffalo driving through high waters, and this runway at one Chicago airport closed by the flooding rain. Rob standing by with a track of all this, but first Gio Benitez in the storm zone.
Tonight, those powerful storms moving east, threatening millions. It's 4 p.m. and the same storm system moving through the country is now reaching New York City. Severe thunderstorm watches are in effect through much of the night across the mid-Atlantic. This time lapse showing severe weather moving through Washington, D.C. Blinding rain for Virginia drivers. East of Columbus, Ohio, high water shutting down part of Interstate 70 today. Parts of the Midwest reeling from multiple rounds of rain. Our Alex Perez, north of Chicago, the governor warning of possible evacuations.
Here in Gurnee, Illinois, residents are on high alert. More than 100 homes and businesses already flooded, and the river here expected to continue slowly rising until tomorrow.
Residents in the area trying to keep that water out. And David, the threat of severe storms continues through tonight. The roads already slick and potentially dangerous for travelers. David.
Gio Benitez with us. Gio, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all. He's live along the West Side Highway tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Just a few more hours of rough weather. Our nation's capital really getting hit the hardest. Take a look at the radar there. Some rough storms moving through Maryland and Delaware. These have 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. And the ongoing flood threat up the Lehigh Valley into the Finger Lakes, very saturated ground there. This cold front's going to nudge those storms offshore and drier air moving down to the south. But then it's still also more pop-up thunderstorms in Florida and across the Gulf Coast into the southeast tomorrow. But the real severe stuff, once again, into the upper Great Lakes. Wisconsin, which has had a tough week, is going to get hit hard, I think, again tomorrow.
Dozens of wildfires continue to rage in at least 10 western states. A fire near Santa Barbara, California, destroyed at least 50 buildings. And now the company that owns the world's largest firefighting plane claims federal officials are keeping it grounded, putting homes at risk. Here's Mireya Villarreal.
Firefighters are using every tool, waging war on the Whittier fire just north of Santa Barbara, California.
There's a lot of variability, a lot of uncertainty, but you're going to be in another firefight today.
After more than a week, this wildfire is still going strong, consuming more than 18,000 acres of land. Newly released dashcam video shows crews trying to reach a group of trapped campers blocked by a wall of fire. Friday night, the flames exploded again, forcing more people to leave their homes.
So now it's rush, rush, unpack the house because I don't know if it's going to be here when I get back.
The body of the blaze has stayed hidden in the hills of the Santa Ynez Mountains, making it difficult for firefighters on the ground to get up close. They've relied on a fleet of 16 helicopters and 4 fixed-wing planes to make airdrops along the rugged terrain. The largest is a DC-10 that can douse flames with up to 12,000 gallons of fire suppressant. But sitting at an airport is the super tanker, capable of dumping more than 19,000 gallons of liquid at a time. The Boeing 747 was converted from a passenger plane into a firefighting tool that's been used in Israel and Chile. In a proposed contract, the U.S. Forest Service would limit firefighting aircraft to 5,000 gallons of suppressant, leaving global supertanker's powerhouse plane grounded for now. The global supertanker did have permission to work in the U.S. on an interim permit, but that recently expired right before the start of wildfire season. Elaine, the company is now filing a protest with the U.S. Forest Service.
Mireya Villarreal, thanks.
Our trail is blocked off because of this. I don't know. Might as well kick back some beers then. Load a bowl. These people almost got hit. Trying to rescue this guy and his 1-month-old baby. There's the son over there and the mom's in the water. Oh! Rescuers on site. They lost 10 people.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with a deadly flash flood tragedy in Arizona, with rescue operations ongoing and the weather threat not over yet. 8 swimmers are confirmed dead, at least 2 of them children, after flash floods tore through a popular swimming spot. Some survivors airlifted for treatment. 2 still missing tonight. And there are new flash flood watches across much of Arizona tonight as monsoon season batters the southwest with powerful thunderstorms packing high winds and heavy rain. More on the forecast with Rob Marciano in a moment, but we begin with the new developments about those swimmers swept away. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Fast-moving water sweeping away a group of swimmers in northern Arizona.
Trying to rescue this guy and his 1-month-old baby.
One woman capturing the horrifying moments on camera.
There's the son over there and the mom's in the water.
Water, mud, trees, and debris rushing down a mountain, flooding the creek below.
Finally got rescuers on site.
At least 8 killed, 2 of them children. 4 rescued, but tonight the desperate search for 2 more still missing.
One of the witnesses said he looked up and saw a wall of water coming toward him.
Choppers scouring the rough terrain for survivors. The flash flooding triggered by torrential rain beating the windows of this waterfront restaurant.
The whole dock is flipped over, broken on all sides.
That blinding rain bending trees, sending people running for cover.
When it rains up here, it really pours. And not only that, it knocks down trees.
This dust storm near Phoenix packing 40-mile-per-hour winds. Visibility less than a quarter of a mile. This landspout tornado tearing across the highway. And tonight the search continues for those missing swimmers. Officials telling us that wall of water that swept them away more than 6 feet high, rushing at nearly 30 miles per hour. Tom?
Our hopes and prayers for those missing. Kenneth, thank you. Let's bring in ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano with the danger tonight for many in that region.
Tom, we're getting into monsoon seasons, and this will continue for the next couple of months. Outside of Phoenix and Tucson, you get some of these heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon, and you can see some of those dried out washes into a flash flood in a hurry. Flash flood watches through tomorrow night for Arizona especially.
And Rob, nearly 50 wildfires burning right now. You mentioned firefighters lost ground on one of the big ones yesterday. Where does that stand tonight?
The Whittier fire in Santa Barbara, there's the same containment as they had last night, but it has grown just a little bit, and it's very, very warm in California especially. Red flag warnings out for a lot of the Intermountain West, but the core of the heat, thankfully, is going to shift east, but it gets into the plains, and for the next several days, we'll see dangerous heat from St. Louis back to Kansas City. A couple of disturbances tomorrow across the northern tier and the northeast. We could see some damaging winds and some large hail from western Pennsylvania and through upstate New York, Tom.
All right, Rob Marciano for us. Rob, thanks.
I just reported this. It was the first one out of everyone to report it. I called 911. Oh no. Unbelievable. It's at the water. Look, it's all the way at the water. Okay, well, if this carries on, it's gonna burn everything.
That tree's going up over there. As soon as it goes higher, then it's gonna transfer higher.
There's houses right there. There's houses right along there. Look at that. Barbecue, Kevin. This is fucking barbecue.
Get that on video, man. Right to the bottom.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have went down.
That's where it started.
Somebody should be going to look at evidence of this.
There's a plane flying above it. Good. Right here. Oh no, it's a scouter plane. No way. Dad, that we just stopped?
No, we can't. The water's too rough. Somewhere else turned on video. Down the side before it moves over here. You can tell this is where it's going to go first. Right now they're trying to save those people's houses.
Well, there's
They're not even dropping it.
He's going to have enough water to do anything.
Oh, that's a pretty good hit. Yes. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. There's this one. Yeah.
Wait, what was that orange stuff? What? That
It's retarded. Big ass house right there. Oh no.
Una tromba azotó varias avenidas, arrastrando y dejando vehículos completamente bajo el agua en algunas zonas de esta ciudad fronteriza. Protección Civil Municipal informó que las colonias más afectadas son El Granjero, la colonia Morelos y las áreas aledañas a la avenida de las Torres. Se mantiene la alerta amarilla ya que seguirá lloviendo el resto de la tarde y bueno, pues también por la noche allá en Ciudad Juárez, hay que tomarlo en consideración. Por cierto, el gobierno de Ciudad Juárez informó que elementos de la Policía Municipal brindaron apoyo ciudadano a peatones y automovilistas que sufrieron algún percance o que estaban varados por la lluvia que se ha presentado la tarde de hoy. Los policías ayudaron a familias completas a salir de los vehículos que habían quedado ahí en medio del agua. Los llevaron a refugios. Los vehículos ya fueron remolcados a diferentes sitios. Pero vean nada más qué imágenes de hoy por la tarde allá en Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua, en plena ciudad fronteriza.
Si quiere, venga con otra.
Hermanito, mijo, que no llore. Agárralo, que no llore.
Órale, atrás. ¿Quién más viene con ustedes, mijo?
Mi papá.
No hay ciudad sola.
Estamos en el fraccionamiento Educación y quiero que vean cómo está. Ya nos está metiendo el agua a todas nuestras casas, a los carros. Ya se metió a mi carro, carro de los vecinos. Ahí están todos los vecinos tratando de Vean hasta dónde está el parque. Sí, vean hasta dónde está el parque. Esto es cada vez que llueve, toda el agua que está para la Panamericana se viene en el carro de aquel lado. Allá están atravesando los carros, los vecinos, para que ya no pase ningún carro, precisamente para que no se nos meta el agua a las cocheras. En la cochera de la vecina ya sé. Aquí estamos en el fraccionamiento Educación. Miren la cochera del vecino, ya.
Welcome back. No relief in sight for the people of Assam as the flood situation remains grim in the state. Over 17 lakh people in 26 districts have been affected. 77% of Assam's Kaziranga National Park is inundated, leaving many animals dead. Assam is not the only state that's underwater. The toll in the floods and landslides that have hit as many as 58 districts across Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Manipur has now crossed 85. Nagaland is the latest to be hit by flash floods. The Dimapur-Kohima National Highway 29 was badly damaged near Kirufema village, while Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal claims that the flood-affected areas are getting all possible assistance. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju along with Arunachal Chief Minister Pema Khandu undertook an aerial survey of flood-hit districts in the region.
This is a terrain which is completely submerged in the water, and around me there are a number of villages in this area. Now you can see people who are stranded here, and this is a Brahmaputra river which has crossed all the water level, and now the water has entered in the adjoining districts, and these are the villages who are submerged in the water. Now the rescue and relief operation is underway. I'm here on this boat with NDRF team who is on the rescue and relief operation, providing medical aid to the people affected in these villages, and also the relief materials by state government is being distributed. Number of people, villagers who are stranded still in their villages because the connectivity has been completely disrupted by this flood. 56 districts in Assam completely affected by water, and 26 districts, what we are hearing from the government, the 26 districts affected worse.
In India, officials there say floods have killed at least 4 people in the western state of Gujarat. 6 others are still missing. Transport has been disrupted on major rail networks and dozens of highways, and power to more than 100 villages has been cut. In the northeast, heavy rains have killed at least 85 people in the past 9 days. Some 1.75 million people have been affected in Assam state, with tens of thousands relocated. Monsoon rains in India regularly cause floods and also waterborne diseases.
For 2 weeks, heavy monsoon rain has flooded low-lying areas in northeastern India. Rivers and streams have burst their banks, forcing millions from their homes. In the Barpeta district in western Assam, Abu and his family say they've been abandoned by their government.
We've been flooded for a week. Everything, including some of our animals and our rice paddy fields, washed away.
Our water pump is damaged. Until now, we haven't had any help from the government.
Abu's village is among the nearly 4,000 others flooded. Villagers say they are trying to live in tents, which also shelter their animals.
We're facing so many problems: acute food crisis, no drinking water, no place to take shelter.
More than 75 families in the Kanara village on the banks of the Brahmaputra River don't have drinking or potable water.
We go to floodwaters for collecting drinking water. Government officials are yet to visit us here, and they are not providing any help.
Our food stocks are finished. For 3 days we've been facing an acute food crisis. Our home is gone. It was washed away.
We are here in this camp for 15 days. We are demanding the government provide us relief as soon as possible.
The government says the nearly 300 temporary shelters it set up in the state of Assam are housing more than 100,000 people. Not everyone has been able to or wants to leave their homes and farms.
We're about 1,300 people taking shelter here. We can't enter our house until flood waters recede.
We are in the embankment for the last 10 days. Schools remain closed. When it rains, we take shelter under a small tent. There is no other way.
Flooding is an annual problem during the monsoon season in South Asia. The impact has worsened by crumbling infrastructure, clogged drains, and uncontrolled urban expansion. The government is downplaying the impact.
Condition of these people is fast improving, and we are hoping that during the next few days, the situation will be almost normal.
But those affected by the floods are questioning why the government wasn't better prepared. Paul Chadurjian, Al Jazeera.
يصل وادي سحتن ما شاء الله قوي جدا. الآن طريق الصناعية هذا صرف صحي ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. متروس ما شاء الله مجرى الوادي منترس فل الحمد لله رب العالمين. حوالي بعد نص ساعة يمكن يصل إن شاء الله لوشيل بإذن الله، نص ساعة ويصل لوشيل بإذن الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله. يلا بحصد يلا بحصد يلا غيره باكر ورا باكر إن شاء الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
الامطار غزيره جدا، الله يعين بس ماشي ما يطير. لا اله الا الله. ها؟ ما يعجبهم اذا قالوا ما صورناهم، اعرفهم ثاني. اي والله. اه صحيح. اوبس راح. وين راح؟ اخير زيد يا اخي. جيرانك ها كيف 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 ما لقاه تعيش البلد مسكين. والله يزيد يا اخي يزيد صدقني. ترى يزيد يزيد. بسرعة بسرعة. ركب ركب. اوه قلبت قلبت. رجع رجع رجع. ايوه خلاص خلاص. زين زين زين. يسار يسار.
ingegnere.
Está ali uma senhora aqui, está uma senhora aqui.
Desde tenho a casa fechada, não há problema.
Está ali uma senhora com bengala.
Está ali uma senhora.
Sim.
Guardate in via di Platani ora a questo momento. Bastardi, sta bruciando tutto, guarda, non ce la fanno a fermare, vieni via. Vieni via, vieni via, vieni via. Vieni via, vieni via, vieni via. Vieni via, vieni via, vieni via. Bastardi figli di puttana, oh. Figli di Troia! Guarda che lavori! Oh. Bravo! Aravoglio!
No, vabbè. Tudo potoka. Kako nije?
Ma neće to, samo celo brdo da izgori kakvi.
I to malo brdo što ima.
Kreće ovaj reka što tera tamo prema moru.
Evo još jedna mala. Jedno gore, samo čeka vetar.
Da ga malo pogurni.
Duva vetar na drugu stranu spali.
A Bog mene do na brdo došla kod crkve. Samo ode pored...
Požari u Hrvatskoj, vatrena stihija zahvatila je Šibenik. Prava drama odigrava se u naselju Brodarica gdje je izbio požar u neposrednoj blizini kuća. Zahvaljujući kanaderima, kuće su u posljednjem trenutku spašene. Strah od novih požara pojačava jaka bura. Dramatično je u mjestu Prpuša, nedaleko od Makarske. Evakuisani su mještani, a stotine hektara borove šume zahvatila je vatra. Ranije danas uz ogroman napor vatrogasaca spašena je i crkva Svetog Ivana i nekoliko objekata.
Помолье горит перед баром. Еще огонь.
Смотри, мама, тут еще больше разгорелось.
Даже на вершине горы.
后天又完了，后天。
Well, the downpours across China have also cut off power supplies to thousands of residents. Nearly 10,000 people in central Hubei province have been left without power. Heavy rains have triggered flooding and landslides in the Wufang-Tujia Minority Autonomous County, resulting in 3 power plants being destroyed. Road traffic in the county has also been affected. Nearly 400 people have been evacuated to safety. Torrential rains have also damaged around 280 hectares of crops and more than 300 houses. No casualties have been reported as relief efforts continue. The heavy rainfall hasn't let up in many parts of the country. In Zhaozhuang City, Shandong Province, a vehicle was stranded under an overpass and had to be pulled out by firefighters. 2 elderly people and 2 children were also evacuated by firefighters in a nearby village. In several counties of Gansu Province, farmers' crops and residents' vehicles were pelted by intense hail, leaving significant damage. In Jiangsu Province's city of Yangzhong, road signs and trees were uprooted by strong winds, which led to severe traffic jams. And in Yongji County of Jilin Province, record-breaking rainfall and flooding washed many vehicles into rivers, with heavy equipment and machinery required to clean the streets. Typhoon Talis, the 4th typhoon of the year, is heading toward China's southernmost island province of Hainan. The National Weather Bureau says it's moving northwest with a speed of 12 kilometers per hour. The Bureau forecasts the typhoon will make landfall between the cities of Sanya and Wenning later today. There's also the possibility the storm skips the island of Hainan and instead heads toward Beibu Bay. Ships in the middle and northern parts of the South China Sea and those off the coast of Hainan have been advised to take immediate precautions. Passenger ships and services across the Changzhou Strait have also been halted.
Much of southwest China has been struck by heavy rain and strong winds that have caused landslides and power cuts. The authorities say 49 tourists who'd been camping on an island off the south coast were rescued as a typhoon approached. These pictures show another rescue operation in a mountainous area of Hubei province. Around 40 local tourists were taken to safety after becoming stranded. Roads were cut off when rocks and trees came crashing down from the mountains. Further west in Sichuan province, strong winds brought down trees and smashed windows in tall buildings in Mianyang city, according to Chinese television. The rainstorm also washed out several roads. A national highway connecting Sichuan to the east collapsed, the authorities opening up a temporary emergency passage.
As of Monday, 18 people have died. At least another dozen are still missing in Jilin City. The city is relocating more than 100,000 residents. It's the heaviest rain and flooding the region has seen in years. It brought this train to a halt for 15 hours. Until they found another way home.
Thank goodness we are saved. We can go now.
3,000 kilometers away, Sichuan is also dealing with the aftermath of record-breaking gusts and rain.
To clean up all the fallen trees, we need at least a week.
And then there's Typhoon Talis. It skirted off China's southern coastal areas on Sunday, but still doing enough damage. For campers on this isolated island, their rescue came from the air. All 63 were safe. More rain is forecast for these regions in the next 2 days, with hopes of easing by the middle of the week. Sun Ye, CGTN.
Đa số là đều chỗ nào cũng ngập. Em xem trên máy 3-4 lần rồi mà vẫn chưa xong được, chưa về đến nhà.
Storm Talas has hit central provinces of Vietnam, killing at least one person. Authorities in Nghệ An province say a woman died after the roof of her house collapsed. 10 people are missing after a cargo ship transporting coal sank. Flights to and from airports in central provinces were cancelled until further notice. Talas has been downgraded to a tropical storm. It's the second to hit Vietnam since the start of the year.
Torrential rains lashed the central regions of Korea over the weekend, triggering floods that left at least 4 people dead and 2 others missing. The city of Cheongju in Chungcheongbuk-do province was among the hardest hit, seeing over 300 millimeters of rain. Landslides in the city left 2 people dead, while a farmer and a camper in Gyeongsangbuk-do province, who had earlier been reported missing, were also found dead this morning. Road and rail traffic across the region saw severe disruptions, while hundreds of residents had to evacuate their homes to escape the floodwaters. Rescue and restoration efforts are well underway, and we'll bring you updates as we learn more.
Central areas of Korea bore the brunt of this year's monsoon rain. Heavy damages were reported in Cheongju as it continued to pour down over the weekend. Cha Sang-mi give us the updates.
A record amount of rain hit the central city of Cheongju, capital of Chungcheongbuk-do province, on Sunday. The downpour claimed 2 lives and left over 500 victims who suffered from injuries or had property damaged by the floods. Over 290 millimeters of rain poured continuously from early in the morning to around 3 p.m., triggering a rapid rise in the levels of local streams as well as landslides near downtown Cheongju. The Korea Meteorological Administration issued a heavy rain advisory as the rain reached over 90 millimeters per hour. The last time the city received such a heavy deluge of rain was 22 years ago in August 1995. All trains and buses stopped running, and residential buildings, markets, factories, and schools were all flooded. An underground parking lot and an outdoor car rental store near Seongnam Stream among the worst hit by the floods, leaving all the car service centers nearby crowded with damaged cars. Residents of apartments near the flooded areas escaped after hearing the building's evacuation alarms. When they returned the next day, their homes had their electricity and water cut off.
The water deluged the parking lot over there, and I could only see the car rooftops. A little later, that water began flooding our apartment.
Fortunately, the torrential rain had stopped for now, and the restoration operation is underway, but the residents and local business owners are dismayed at the sight of their damaged properties.
The water poured in like a tsunami. It reached my shoulder height. I couldn't get into my restaurant, so I waited for an hour, and once I went in, all the household items and furniture had fallen over. It was a chaos.
This area had not seen such torrential downpours in well over 20 years. Although the water level has since gone down, there is still a lot of cleaning up to be done. Cha Sang-mi, Arirang News.